Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Happy Sunday. Let me just firstly apologize. We've had a few technical issues, but you know what? This is why we love doing the live conversations because we just don't know what's going to happen. So please bear with us. Please like, subscribe, do all of the great stuff. Today, I have a good friend of mine. Smudge, and he'll be talking about a lot of things. But hey, you know what? Enough of me. Let's get the man of the moment.
Hey!
Smudge.
Evening to Breeze, evening. I just wanted to fit in with everyone else that you have on the show.
What do you mean?
I mean, obviously we have Marlon. Well, both Marlons are bald. Yourself. Paul.
Okay. So, okay. So, like, because we
George.
have, because we have no hair, you actually feel that you can actually take the piss. Is that how it is? Is that
I
how it
can't
is?
even sit the sides down. It's quite embarrassing.
Oh, jeez.
But listen, anyone that has a hair condition out there, it's just light-hearted banter. If you ever see me out on the football circuit, please don't try and Will Smith me. It's just a bit of bounce. Yeah. Everyone on the show seems to be bald, so I thought I'd just join in.
Actually, you know what, Smudge? Sorry, like I, you know what? I wasn't gonna do this, but again,
Okay.
to everyone out there, so I'm sorry, Smudge. So, so I asked Smudge, I need pictures of you for the thumbnail. Yes, sir. Yep. Because you know what, we are going there, and everyone that I've said that text to, they've literally given me proper pictures. I'm gonna literally show you guys out there the first pictures Smudge gave me. Sorry, I'm Smudge. I've got to do it now.
Why?
I wasn't gonna do it.
Oh, fuck.
These are the pictures Smudge gave me. I said to Smudge, I said, Smudge, I need pictures for the thumbnail. And this is what the man's giving me. I'm like, Smudge, are you being serious? He's like, nah, I'm only bantering. And then, like he didn't even send me any for like a good couple of hours. So I'm sorry, Smudge. I'm sorry.
I can't
It had to
believe
be
you
done.
posted. I can't believe you posted that.
Yeah, bro. Trust me, I was not even gonna do that, but because of that little baldwin joke, it's not happening. It's not happening. But hey, I'm sorry. But how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well.
Good. And again, let me again just apologize regarding the technical issues.
Yeah,
Um,
you're a bit glitchy my end. Can you hear me all right? Your end.
honestly, I can kind of hear
Okay.
and see you, and everything's good. So, you know what? Let's kind of go into the conversation, and what's
Sure.
the kind of I'd say what's the kind of context that people out there would need to know about you coming back into football, especially at the kind of vets kind of community family level.
Uh, so yeah, I've played football from a young age. Uh, then I had a considerable amount of time out of the game, and then now my journey into vets football. Uh, so what was the question again? To me, sorry, I'm new to this media
Yeah,
stuff.
no, that's cool. So why? Well, not why, but yeah, how like did you get back into vets football or
Oh, how
into
did I get
football?
back into vets football and
Yeah,
play
yeah,
football?
yeah.
Okay, so after battling uh, a mental health uh, problem that I went through, my my cousin said to me, "Why don't you play football again?" Because the last time I played competitive football, I was 24. and I didn't really leave the game that well. And then I went through my journey with my mental health battle and stuff like that. And then through that journey and coming through the other end, I realized why certain things were playing themselves out throughout my football career. So when I come through the other end through my personal battles, my cousin said to me, "Why don't you play football again?" And I was like, "Nah, football really." I was 35 at the time. Yeah, I was 35 at the time. So he said, "Yeah, why don't you play?" So I kind of fobbed him off. I was like, "Nah, I'm not interested in football." And then he asked me again a few weeks later, come, we need some players. So I started off playing Sunday vets football with a team called Mayfair. And yeah, when I went there, I see a few guys that I used to play with. So like Marcel, Reedy, Kay, they was all playing for this team called Mayfair on a Sunday. So I had a few games and yeah, I started to get the buzz factor. But Kevin, shout out to Kevin, Mayfair manager, great guy. He was like, "Look, why don't you go training with this other team that we know, LSU? They train. They're a really good team." Bearing in mind, I knew nothing about vets football. Like when I came out of the game at 24, I thought vets football was like, cigars and beers after the game and big bellies and like walking football. So I was like, okay. So I went down training with LSU, and when I turned up, I was just blown away. Really, the setup, the amount of teams there was. Then I realized I knew Cass and I knew of Lloydie, but I knew Cass more at the time. And yes, I started training, and then they invited me to play for their C team. I can't remember at the time what they were called, but let's just call it the C team. It was the third team. So I was playing for the third team. At the time I came back into football, I was 16 stone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeesh.
very heavy for someone of my height, as you know, to be someone.
Yeah, and
I'm
yeah,
not the
like
tallest.
you're like 5'1" or something. 5'1". Jesus, it's 16 stone though. No, like that. Wow. Okay.
I'm five
Yeah,
foot seven. Yeah,
five
five
foot
foot
seven.
seven, and I play like I'm 6'1". By the way. Yeah, so I was playing for the C team, and yeah, the guys just allowed me to gain my fitness, lose some weight. So I lost a bit of weight, gained some more fitness. Then I played for the B team, and then lost some more weight, was getting fitter, and then I moved across to a different team. I moved to independent, and then the start of the season, I always wanted to play for the A team. So once I got down to the right weight and got my fitness, yeah, now I'm where I'm supposed to be. So LSU
Uh,
A. So that's my journey
okay.
into football.
Um, at the beginning, you like spoke about your kind of mental health journey
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you talk about one specific situation or like I'd say journey that really affected you?
Yeah, sure. So how can I dissect this?
And
So
and yeah, and literally again, please like don't please feel free, like you don't have to answer anything that you don't want to talk about as
no,
well.
of course
You
not.
know what I mean?
So again, when me and you to we spoke about touching on my mental health journey personally, and then battling through it, and then incorporating football because it is a football platform. Yeah, I know you've tried to get me on the show for what, nearly a year, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So apologies, partly scared about coming on the show and doing all of this kind of networking stuff and stuff like that. But I think talking about my mental health journey and why it's taking me so long to come on the show is that you can leave yourself vulnerable uh, when speaking about something like this, because not everyone who may be listening may take the information that they're being provided uh, with the amount of respect, or with the amount of due diligence that is due. So I could be potentially leaving myself vulnerable to people, but because of the line of work that I'm in now and that I'm trying to do for others, the main focus and my main goal is to always try and help someone else that went up, that may be going through some sort of battle themselves because of the stuff that I went through. So with that, uh, yeah, in 2017, around this time, I was homeless. When I mean homeless, I mean like sleeping rough on the street in from September, October, November. Yeah, from September up until the middle of December, I was actually sleeping rough on the street, uh, doing what sleeping rough people do without going into detail. Obviously, to let people know that me and yourself are working on a project in 2023. So I'm trying to be polite to the project that we're working on. That's got the go ahead. However, I still feel like people need to know certain details so that if someone who may be potentially watching this is going through something, that they can see some hope and see some light in what I'm sharing. So yeah, I was homeless in 2017, uh, and it was tough. It was really really tough. I was Prior to that, I was battling a mental health battle, which included recreational drugs to as at the time I thought would help what mentally I was going through and what thought patterns that I had. Yeah, in the end, I ended up homeless. I ended up on my own, no family. I lost a huge network of friends, and yeah, I slept in parks. I slept on the street. I remember when I hadn't eaten for like nearly a week, and I found a bottle of Robinson's orange. It was full up, and I remember sipping on that for like 4 days, man, and that got me through the 4 days and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really really tough, really tough. It was hard going, but it taught me a lot. It definitely taught me a lot. Like during that process of me being homeless, and again, everything that actually being homeless brings, I lost the fear of fear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost the fear of fear. So now that you see me here today on this platform, I lost the fear of you know job interviews. I lost the fear of putting myself out there. I lost the fear of trying to help someone else. I lost the fear of fear. Like part of me died out there, and the part of me that died was the fear factor of of not being able to come back, because I managed to get through certain things.
Um, Thank you for sharing. And Mr. Cass has kind of come and said, big respect to my brother Smudge for coming onto the show and sharing his journey with all of us and showing his vulnerability. Um, I mean, we we have spoken about certain things, and it's it's again, like, hey, like, I was deeply upset and like moved about even just some of your story. And this, I mean, like, literally, I can't even imagine how like you was feeling, on those kind of winter, those kind of winter nights. What was the turning point
Mm.
for you? Like, I would literally I'd like to know.
So, I mean, I, you hear the term rock bottom. I mean, you hear it, and rightly so. Some people like hit rock bottom and stuff like that. But in my personal journey and what I relate to myself is that uh, what I believe in rock bottoms, because when I first started to have like inquiring about myself and my mind, like, so when we used to go out clubbing, I used to have huge anxiety, and I remember like, what is this? And then when I first started like dabbling within recreational drugs, I thought, God dear, like I'd never thought I would go this way. And I thought that was a rock bottom. And then when I became homeless, I thought, okay, this must be my rock bottom. But it wasn't the end of what I consider different rock bottoms. And then once I'd gone through many different things, I felt like my ground was firm enough where then I could stand on top of it and then make my journey back into society and back into myself. And one of my turning points, I have a few. So, do you mind if I share a few?
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah, definitely. Please, man.
Well, so when I was, it's amazing, really. I mean, it's part of my journey that gained me for my belief system that I have to this day. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I am a believer in God, and I am a believer in faith and having faith. So when I say that, when I was homeless, I remember one time a homeless guy came up to me, and I mean, when I say he was proper homeless, like he was was homeless for years, and I want to respect anyone who right now is going through homelessness, because my journey into homelessness, I mean, I was homeless for 4 months, but there's people out there that have been homeless for like years, and this guy was homeless for years. And I remember he came up to me, and I was I can share this. I was about to pick up someone had left some food, and this is harsh for me, actually. This is hard. Like I said, I'm open to leave myself vulnerable in the aid that I can help someone listening to this. So I was picking up, I was about to pick up someone else's leftover food, and as I went down to pick it up, the homeless guy grabbed my arm. I didn't see him I don't know where he came from, but he grabbed my arm. And when I looked up, I was like, "Who's this? Like, you touching?" And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he said, "You're better than that. Don't do that." And he actually gave me some money to go and buy some food. And he was homeless himself. So that was definitely a sign that there was still hope. Uh, Another one was when I was sleeping in the park. Uh, I've been out for like a few months now, and yeah, I felt like I was coming to an end. I was done for, man.
What, as in suicidal?
Everything. Yeah, I can suicidal. I was close to calling it a day, if I'm honest, T. I was close. I Prior to this, I really had like a quite affluent first 20, 22 years of my life. I mean, let me break it down. Mental health doesn't have a tick list or a checklist of a certain categories that you have to fit to gain a mental health uh, condition. So let me make sense of that. So I grew up in a household where my mum and dad are still were together, and my mum and dad are still together now. So I had both mum and dad at my house. Both mum and dad worked full time. My dad's a black cab driver. My mum worked for the BMA at the time, British Medical Association. So I had two parents who had full time jobs, good jobs, and supplied everything to me and my brother. We lived in a very nice house in Beckenham. I had my own, obviously, I had my own sink in my room. I mean, that's unheard of nowadays. I went to a very good school. I got all my grades. So if you was to like, and I'm not, this isn't to disrespect anyone that grew up in a single parent household or lived underneath the poverty line or grew up on a council estate. I didn't have those things. However, mental health doesn't have a checklist that you have to fit within. So to unfortunately you may gain throughout your time. And so that this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now and with my life in what I do for work capacity is to let people know that it's mental health is real, and mental health is there at the minute, and especially it's very high in men. So I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
No, no, that's cool. Honestly, like, thank you. Let me kind of go to the comments. So LSU Masters, love this guy Smudge. Um, the Wizard has commented, big love and respect to my guy Smudger. You're an amazing person. Keep doing all of the things. My brother and FC Cool Your Vets, big up Smudge, top fella. We've always got time for you. Respect you for sharing your journey.
Yeah,
And yeah,
those
and
comments mean a lot, man. Because like I said, a lot of these guys, like the Karua boys, obviously big up Wiz, Lloydie, and Cass. A lot of these guys didn't know what I personally went through to get myself back, just in life, let alone football, man. Just back, let alone life. So yeah. Oh, sorry, T. Before we move on, one of the so when I was in the park, I managed to get in contact with a company called No Second Night Out. They're a charity that help homeless people. They, uh, so I got in contact with them, and you have to give your location to where you're sleeping rough. So I gave my location. I was sleeping in the park at the time, and I remember in the distance I could see two flashlights because they don't tell you what time they're gonna come out and look for you. So I remember sleeping in the park. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could see two flashlights, and I could hear something in the distance. And I was thinking, is that them? Is that them? And I remember getting up, but where I hadn't eaten for days, and I was like highly intoxicated with drink and drugs at the time. I couldn't see. It was like blurred vision, and I was just trying to call out to them and thinking about. I could see the torchlight slowly in the distance fading away, and I thought I'd lost my opportunity, man. And when you say about suicidal thoughts, that's when suicidal thoughts really kicked in at the time, because I was like, I'm 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 done for. Really, this is it. So I got in contact with them the next, not the next day, the day after, and I said to them, look, you haven't come out for me. I need some help. And he was like, sorry, David, we did come out for you, but we'll give you another chance. So if you give us a location, we'll send someone out to look for you. But again, they don't tell you when they're coming. So it's a protocol that they have to follow. So I changed my location. I actually went to Iceland's in Penge, because they have like a little shelter area. And by then, it was December. It was second week in December 2017. It was freezing. And I remember I found myself under the shelter in Iceland in Penge, and I had two books, because I know you said to you what was my turning points, like what are the some things. So yeah, so I remember I had two books. So I had randomly Cass, the West Ham fan. So I had a rucksack full of stuff, and then I had two books. So one was Cass, the West Ham fan, that I was reading while I was out sleeping rough, and then the other one, yeah, was the Bible. And I remember holding on to the Bible, and then bearing in mind, I thought I'm done for. I'm not gonna make it back. And I remember holding on to the Bible, and I said, "Look, please, if you can help me, then I will do everything I can to try and get back, or just to get myself back in some sort of state where I can start helping myself again." And yeah, I fell asleep, and I remember waking up with this torchlight in my face. And I was like, like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then he was like, "Are you David?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah, hi. We're from No Second Night Out. We've come to pick you up." And when I broke down, and yeah, that was the start of my journey, man. Like
Mhm.
crazy,
Mhm.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
Um, okay. Yeah. Uh, Troy's come in and said, turning into my tuning into my dear brother David. Thank you for being so vulnerable and powerful with your truth. It's helping so many people. And the charcoal vets had a pleasure of knowing this man for some 20 odd years, and is been through the storm and is now in the sunshine. Truly amazing things for others. Nothing but respect from the gaffer. And my my kind of, well, how you affected me when, I mean, I don't know if you can remember, but so I was on my way home myself. I don't know what I was doing, and literally there was young man just sitting on the side, and normally I'd just walk past, and then literally I walked past. I'm like, what am
Mm,
I doing? And then I went back and I turned and I went back to sit with him,
mm.
and then like we started talking, and I'm like, look, like I want you to speak to someone, and that's when I called you.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
And like we were talking with him for about, is it 20 minutes or so, like about 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes.
I mean, what that's the point of all of this. So where where I've managed to get through certain things that at one point I thought I would never get through, because I consider it a gift from above. When I say it was a gift from above, all of the humans, all of the very, very good humans that I've had in my life, that I have in my life, still, unfortunately, couldn't help me. I have some very, very good friends. I have some very good family members who tried everything for me, but they still, unfortunately, couldn't. So when I embarked on my journey back, I was given a gift, and I was given opportunities to get myself back. I mean, when I say I've done literally everything to get myself back. And but when you're given a gift, and regardless of what that gift is, you can't, or you shouldn't, keep that gift for yourself. In my instance, I was given the gift of recovery. So if I just keep it for myself, then I'm just selfish again. Like all of the stuff that brought me to my mental health, that brought all of that up, all of the selfish behavior, all of the defects of character, all of those things. So in order now that I've been given the gift for my own recovery, I can only help someone else with it. So when you called me regarding that young man, of course, because it's not about me, you know, it's not about me anymore. I'm on my journey. So the gift is to try and help someone else on theirs.
Big talk active, big respect to this guy. Nice person. Saw him at the Catford game yesterday. Decent fella.
All the comments are like overwhelming, really.
Yeah.
They really are. They
No,
really are. They
yeah.
really are.
I mean, thanks for sharing it, and I know that we've like spoken about the project, and you know, cause like it got really emotional for like both of us anyway. Just you know what I mean. So again, thank you. Hey, like, you know, this is again exactly what you said before. Is, you know, if like this can help anyone out there, you know, this is, yeah, it's absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
and it's like men's mental health at the minute is a big topic, and I don't just want to give the cliche of, you know, if you're suffering with something, or if you're going through something personally, then talk to someone. I think I think that's a bit too cliche, because at the time, in the time that you personally might be going through something, the last thing that you have the capacity for is to try and tell someone what you're going through. As men, we're built in a certain way and stuff like that. Like, but so I don't just want to give the same old cliche. Try and talk to someone. What I would say is when you're ready to try and help yourself, there will be people hopefully around you, but there'll be people in the world that will help you help yourself. You know, because
Oh, yeah, yeah, because yeah. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
no, sorry. I'm really sorry if this is a little bit too
No,
deep.
no, bro. Like, I
I
mean,
really
carry on, man. Carry on, carry on.
no, because the journey never ends. You know, the journey never ends. To this day, I still every day I have to do. You know, I have to do my gratitude. I have to be grateful for the things I have. I have to be present for my children. I have to be a good partner uh, to my girlfriend. I have to, you know, I have to be a good citizen at work. I have to do all these things. So it's not like you get yourself well and that's it. The journey continues daily, 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 daily. So if you see me on a Saturday at football, then I've already won in my own personal journey, in my own personal life. I've won already, you know. So football's just a bonus. So that's why, like I said, all of these comments so far that they're really warming and overwhelming, because for years and years people never really saw that David or Smudger, that they saw a character of David, or they saw the character of Smudger. They never really actually saw him. So now that all you get when you see me is David, or all you get when you see me is Smudger, then comments like that are just really warming and overwhelming, because it's quite peaceful just to be me again. Or I wouldn't even say again, like, because throughout that time I didn't. There were so many things that I did that wasn't me. So now that I get to be me, and people still comment like that, yeah, it's nuts. It's really, really, and it shows I must be doing something right as well, you know.
You said that you at your heaviest you was 16 stone. Um,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Literally, I'm not laughing because you know, because you know, like, again, I'm not body shaming anyone or
No,
whatever.
no,
You
no,
know,
no,
it
no.
was, but
16 stone for someone my height is too much.
yeah, but I mean, I'm like really intrigued in terms of like the methods and the process you you went through to actually lose the initial weight at the beginning. I know that you said that you played football, but football only doesn't shed that type of weight.
Yeah. So when I went training with LSU, and I saw the level of football being played, I was like, okay, I need to do some road runs. So I got myself some running trainers and I started doing road runs. But bearing in mind, at 16 stone, for someone who's my height, I was like a big fat potato running down the road. Like, it was ridiculous, but I got the buzz back. So I ended up doing road runs like every day, and I gained shin splints through doing it just because I was that heavy. So I stopped road running, and then I took up like bike in the gym, and then I changed when I moved up into the B team. I changed my diet plan, or my food plan. I don't like to say diet, my food plan. So I stopped eating meat like twice a week. I still do that now. I stopped eating meat twice a week. You know, I'll just generally eat less, but it's no there's no quick fix. It's not magic. Losing weight means you have to train. So I just went hard, Teresa. I just went really, really hard. I'd got the bug back, and I saw where I wanted to play. Like, I wanted to play for LSU A team. I used to watch them train. Like, I used to go and watch their games. I knew most of the players in the team through when I used to play, through my playing days, through the pro level or semi-pro level. So I was like, I'm gonna play for them one day. Once I get the right weight and once I'm fit, I'm gonna play for them. So yeah, changed my food plan. I went on I done it all, if I'm honest. I got a bit anal with it all. I done keto diet, I done this diet, I done that diet, I done them all, and then I just stopped all the diet plans that you could do out in the world, and I just ate well and trained really hard. And yeah, I started to shift it. I went on a liquid diet. I went on a cleansing diet. I had done it all. But I suppose that's the part of the addiction side in me.
Yeah, and you're not, funny enough, I was literally gonna say, it seems like you've got a very addictive personality. Like once you start something, you are so intense with it. Like you're gonna go all in. It seems like that.
I battle with the addictive personality because it's titled a bit too harsh on people. I personally would rather say like passion personality. So if you have passions, then you drive for them. Where addictive personality still kind of holds you within a certain boundary. Again, this is just my own, but yeah, once I have a mindset on something, I kind of go for it, or I try and go for it. Hence why my mental health, or my my journey into like recreational drugs was longer than I actually wanted it to be, because what you have to remember, your mind doesn't know the difference with stress. So you could have good stress and bad stress. The mind just knows stress. It doesn't know the difference between the two. It's how it functions. So yeah, once I set my mind on something, I will go for it. Yeah, you're right, Therese. I have that mindset.
LSU Masters come in 16 stone, and he had the craziest touch. I had to acquire. I had to acquire who is this guy? Remind me of Maradona.
So can you imagine what my touch is like now?
Oh, Jesus. So okay, so like you like shifted the weight and then you started playing.
Yeah.
And again, we've not even touched upon. I mean, I don't know if we've even got time, because again, I want to be respectful of like your time, but you've played at a higher level, right? Like, can you just name a few teams or clubs that you've played for?
Yeah. So, what my journey, like my brief when I was younger?
Yeah.
Okay, so playing for my school. Started off playing for my school. As you do. So yeah, when I was in year 9, I used to play for my year 11s. So year 11s have a different timetable to the rest of the school. So I used to get, it was great at the time. I used to get taken out of like my last 2 lessons when I was in year 9, and to play for my year 11s. Same in year 10. When I was in year 10, I used to play for my year 11s, and because their schedule was different, yeah, my ego was through the roof. Oh my God, like taken out of class, playing for your older years, like you're a superstar. and I went to a school, and we was quite affluent actually. We had a lot of talented people. We had many footballers. Jason Punchell was there. You know, Maka was there in my school. Plays for Charcoal now. We had another player went on to play for Fulham. We had a player went on to play for Palace first team. Yeah, we had some really good footballers in my school, and so I played for my school. And then as you do, you move up. You play for like Tandridge, or you play for your borough. So I ended up playing for my borough, and then I played for Carib. I started for Carib on a Sunday. Again, fantastic team. Some of the players that's playing Feds football now in Div 1. Maka, Anthony McNamee, who plays for LSUA, and myself. He scored a worldie the other day. He was there, by the way, 2 weeks. So we started off at Carib. Nathan at Nino at Independent, who plays in Div 1. Yeah, so played for really good Sunday and school team. And then I played for 10 and B, and then again, really good team. And then I got the opportunity to have a trial with a pro club. Managed to get a year down there. So I was playing there at the pro club, and then because I'm quite short, so you can imagine how short I was then. I wanted to play centre midfield, but you know, we used to. I remember playing against Millwall, and like Millwall were huge. They were massive. They used to turn up, and they had like beards and everything at the age of like 16. It was crazy, and there was me, like no hair. I must have been 5'1" at the time, playing centre midfield. So they moved me out to the wing. So when I was on the wing, there was a youngster coming through. He was 2 years younger than me, and he went on actually to play first team and play Premiership football all of his career. So they moved me out to the wing, and then he was coming through. He was 2 years younger, so slowly but surely I was getting subbed quicker, and then before I knew it, he was starting games before me, and then I got frustrated. So lo and behold, one time I didn't get on, and then I told the manager to F off, and then I got released. And then I got a trial, which then I got a contract through. So I ended up in the league. So I was playing in the league at the time, and I was Loire because it was the last year that they had like boot boys. You know, when you used to be someone's understudy, and you
Yeah.
the boots and stuff like that. So I was Loire's boot boy at the time at Colchester. So yeah, so I playing in the league, learning my trade, and then I got released, and then I stopped playing football for a while, and then I remember my agent at the time told me, "Look, you can go on a trial." It was actually to Man City, but these times I hadn't played football for like 6-7 months because I was losing the love of football. So I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I went up to Man City, and I think I went up on a Friday, and there was a game Saturday, but my age group had an away game. So my age group had gone away to play a game. So they was like, look, you can play tomorrow for the year below because it's only a friendly. I ended up playing in a friendly, and I made myself look stupid. So like they were like, then I realized like I've missed the level. I'm not. I've missed the mark. I was playing in the year below in a training game, and I rarely touched the ball. And when I did, it was too much of a hard work. And like they were full of internationals at the time as well. And that's what made me realize that look, I don't think the pro thing's gonna really work out. I mean, I had a passion for football, but I didn't love it as much as others did. I just kind of rolled into playing football because I thought I was good and people thought I was good. You know, I never really felt like I was amazing. I just was like, yeah, cool, I'm good at it. Is what it is. So then I dropped into the non-league circuit, and I was supposed to. So if do you remember Fisher? I think it's Fisher.
That's King. Is that Kingfisher or like Fisher?
No, Fisher. I think they were the first club to that they were going full time. So my friend Jamie, who had just come out of Charlton, he was going down there. So he was like, look, come, Stimo. His name was Smart Stimson. Stimo's setting something up in the non-league circuit. They're going full time. You'll be able to train full time. Most of the boys go in there. They'll be able to go back into the pro game, stuff like that. So I went down there, was down there. Stimo wanted me, but then my brother had left Kingstonian at the time. Now my brother had a good career, and he'd done great things through the non-league circuit. A lot of the older generation to me know my brother really well through the football circuit. So he was at Tottenham and stuff like that, and then he was at Kingstonian when Kingstonian was huge, FA Trophy Vars and all of that stuff. And then my brother was moving to Bromley at the time, and I should have signed with Stimo and gone full time. And my friends never really, my friend Jamie's never really let me live this down. So, but I didn't. I signed for Bromley with my brother, and partly because I wanted to be on the ends, if you want to call it that. And I was starting something on what we call the road. Like I was starting something on the road. So I wanted to be on ends and play football, which was one of the biggest mistakes footballing wise that I look back on. So yeah, played in a non-league circuit, played for Bromley. I played for various non-league teams, and then yeah, and then I ended up at Banstead. This is when I just didn't really care about football. Like I said, I came out of football when I was 24. Yeah, and then we were supposed to play AFC Wimbledon. Well, we was playing AFC Wimbledon at the time. AFC Wimbledon was on the rise, so they were bringing thousands of people to like no man's grounds and stuff like that. So we had them in the cup, and I remember the game before, and I was absolutely doing bits at Banstead because I just didn't care at the time. And I remember the game before, I got injured, and the gaffer said to me, will you be all right for next week? I said, yeah, but I knew I wouldn't. Anyway, AFC Wimbledon came down, filled out the stadium. I invited so many people, and I was on the bench, and I didn't come on, and I was fuming. I was fuming. And then I remember the next game was another cup game, which was huge as well. And I was bench, and then he was going to bring me on with like 9 minutes to go. And I just threw my shirt at him, and I said, nah, forget it. And that was the end of my footballing career in the non-league circuit. I just gave up football then. I went to my mum's house. I threw all my football stuff away. I threw all my boots away. Everything football related, I just threw away in the bin, and I never played again until I played for Mayfair at 37 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, that was a bit.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't.
No. I mean, that's actually cool, man. I mean, again, wow. Okay. Well, Millie's come in and said, big respect to Smudger, having gone through so much hardship and coming through stronger. This is so positive. FSS, Smudger, come and play for us at Spartans. And then LSU Masters said, no wonder you and JB driving together like a roomies. It's the cultures to connect. And
JB's my guy. Yeah. JB's my guy, fully.
And before we kind of go on to like your next part, let me just say that of course, like we had a few technical issues at the start, so big shout out to like Nana that's waiting patiently in the background to actually talk about the Catford LSU game that happened yesterday. Big shout out for like Nana who's actually waiting very patiently. So you played for LSU B team, and that's literally where we first met.
Yeah,
that was when I was playing for Independent, and we played LSU B, and Independent beat LSU B. Was it 3-1, 3-1, 4? And I mean, literally, I can't remember.
I don't remember losses.
Yeah,
so I don't
know. Well, Independent.
We lost.
LSU
B
lost. Yeah, and again, I didn't know nothing about you, and and then we could went up to like the bar, and then I just said, Yes, Smudge, because literally that's what people are calling you. I said, Smudge, you're a quality player. Like, you're just gonna pop it around. Da, 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 da. So from that game, what made you leave LSU, and why did you join Independent?
So first of all, there's a few little banter bits going around the league that I'm like some vets football home. Like, I've only played for two clubs. I've only played for LSU and I played for Independent for 4 months, 5 months. So at the time, I was playing for the B team, and like I said, I was getting fitter and fitter, and I'm losing more weight and more weight. And at the time, Independent were apparently a very good team at the time. Again, I didn't know about vets football. I didn't know nothing about any teams. I didn't know nothing. I was just playing to get fit for my health and for my mental health. That's all it was about for me. So I heard this big hype, we're playing Independent, rare. I said, cool. Bearing in mind, I was slightly injured that game. I'm gonna just say that. So I didn't really have.
You're making excuses already. No. You know what? I'm not having that. I'm sorry. No. You know what? You should never say that. You should never say that. You say, the better team won.
I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I don't care.
The better team won. You can't. You talk about I was injured.
The better team won. That game, Independent were really, really good. And Nathan, who I've known majority of my life, he was like, "Why don't you come over?" At the time, the B team, where I was transitioning, I remember we spoke about, the addictive personality or the passion personality and stuff like that, because I knew, because I had the bug back for football and I had the passion back for football, I knew what condition, what state I wanted to get myself in, what fitness I wanted to get myself in, how I wanted to play. And at the time, the B team were having a few things that didn't necessarily connect with where I was mentally or where I was trying to pursue. And again, there's no disrespect to anyone in the B team. They're all my boys still. I still talk to most of them now. It was just where I was heading. And at the time, Nino got in my ear and it just felt like the right move. When we played them, the way they passed it and stuff at the time, I just thought, and plus, like I said, Nathan got in my ear and I made the move over. I had a good talk with Luke, who was the manager of the B team, told him my reasons why. He gave me his respect. We're still friends now. So it was nothing like that. I moved over to Independent, and
literally how was your time with Independent?
At the time, Independent were top of the league. They were flying, but they seemed to have some internal stuff going on. I mean, when I say that, this is no disrespect to Independent. It's very to win a league is very tough. It takes a lot, and I think they had won a lot leading up. They had won a lot. I think they had won a few leagues back to back, and won a few cups along the way. So naturally, you might find yourself in a dip. So during my time there, I may have been involved in part of when they was having a little sticky patch. I mean, it wasn't that sticky. They didn't lose or many games at the time, but it was just starting to have that sticky patch. And plus, like, their management didn't know me, like, personally, the same way like Lloydie and Cass know me. Like, I've known them again the majority of my life. I didn't know Independent management. They didn't know me. I didn't know most of the players. The players there didn't really know me. So it was a combination of a few things, like, where do I fit? Other players were playing in positions that I really wanted to play in. I hold my hands up. I wasn't in the most fittest condition that I necessarily wanted to be. Like I said, I was transitioning. So I wasn't as fit as I was now. I wasn't as light or thin as I was now. I was still making my way through that journey. So I wasn't in my 100% condition. So with a combination of a few things, it just wasn't the right fit. And like I said, playing vets football or seeing Vets football and starting to know the circuit, I always wanted to play for LSU A team. So at that point, there was a miscommunication between me and Cass at that point, where, like I said, Nathan got in my ear. We had just played them. They were top of the league. I felt like they had what I wanted at the time. So it was just those combination of things were happening. And yeah, again, it just wasn't the right fit for me. That was all. And like I said, I always, no disrespect to Independent, I always wanted to play for LSU A. That was always the goal.
But there's been also like a lot of talk, and you kind of said it at the beginning. You know, people see you as a person that moves around from club to club to club.
Yeah.
And of course, like you was like linked with Santos, you was linked with Charcoal, and when Charcoal played in the Vex Cup final that they won convincingly against West Fulham, like you was there, like talking to like James. I mean,
Yeah.
Was like Charcoal,
Yeah.
no, was like Charcoal a legitimate move for you?
Why
Because
you
literally,
before we spoke in the week, you didn't say nothing about this part of the show. But I think
listen. As I was packing my bag away, I saw you and James sitting down. I'm like, and then literally was like, "So, Bruce, what you do?" Like, can you remember when literally I was packing
I
away like, my
remember.
camera?
Of course, I can remember.
He was like, "To Bruce, like, what you doing with your camera?" I'm like, "I'm just packing it away." So yeah. So literally, was there a legitimate move?
Listen,
To
first
Charcoal.
of all, no, I can talk. First of all, I love all of this. Like where I've been in my journey, like all of, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I'm different. I'm me. I'm Smudge. But based on that, what you've just asked me, so my school team. I'm going to answer the question.
Oh no, man! No! Smudge, I'm not having that. No, I'm not having that. No. Come on, like, was there a legit?
This will make sense. Yeah, this will make sense. So my school team was rivals with James's school team. Yeah. Now it makes sense why James is a manager, because when we used to play his school team, more or less in the final, because they were okay, James never played. Like, he's just standing on the sideline. So it makes sense why he's a manager now, because he was used to standing on the sideline when we were kids. So moving on, I then played with James at Long Lane. So I've known James. Can you hear me?
Yeah, like,
okay.
Like,
I'm sure
James. I'm sure James said it. Look, hold on, James said in the comment, like you two have a friendship for like 20 years plus. We all get that. You're not answering the question.
So I've known James.
Was there a legitimate move to Charcoal?
I've known James a very long time. Like I said, we played at Long Lane together and stuff like that. And when I came back into Vets football, me and James, I saw that James was Charcoal manager. Bearing in mind, I didn't know anything about Vets football when I first came back. When I was playing for Mayfair and I went training with LSU, and then I started to watch a few games and started to Google a few things like with the league and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't know anything until 2000, well, the first season in 2021, I think, or 20, can't remember. But I didn't know anything. So when I moved to Independent, a few people was like, when you finish, come to us. Like I said, there was a miscommunication between me and Casa. So when I naturally I had the bug back for football. So I went to go and watch the finals and stuff like that. And yeah, Charcoal won many things. So naturally, I'm going to talk to James. He's a friend anyway, like before football. So naturally, we had spoken about me coming to Charcoal, yes. But I told James that I'm going to go and play for LSU 8. That is my goal. Lloydie and Cass, I've spoken to them. They want me to come. I want to be there. So I know the boys there. They're good guys. So yeah. But those conversations that you see me having with James at the final and that was nothing to do with me coming over. They're just natural conversations
Yeah,
between two people that know each other.
cool.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, unless I'll be like, if you think it's answer your question, then cool.
But
so LSU's master said, "Let the dog roam, and he'll find his way home."
there you go. There
uh,
you go.
so um, so kind of moving from independent back to LSU.
Yeah.
Um,
So
like how was that emotionally for you? Because of course,
none.
did you again like using the dog analogy, like did you kind of go back with your tail between your legs, like you think, oh, like I wonder how people are gonna accept me, like was there kind of any kind of issues regarding your teammates?
No, none. Like I said, the way I conduct myself and my character, a lot of the boys understood my reasons. Uh, Again, I had spoken to Cass. Now I had spoken to Lloydie. Now we had spoken. Uh, for me, it was an easy transition to where I wanted to be. Like I said, I always, once I saw them training and once I saw the players there and once I built that bond, I always wanted to play for LSUA. So when the end of the season came and I respectfully told management, this is my decision, my mind was already made up. Yeah, I couldn't be convinced. So I spoke to the boys. Like I said, I've known some of them boys a very long time. Nathan, both Nathans. I've known some of them, and the relationships that I gained throughout them few months, 4 or 5 months that I was there. Like I said, uh, a lot of things. That's the beauty of going through certain things that I went through. That I don't bring any. I don't bring it any fakeness. I don't bring it any defects. I don't bring any slyness. It's just me. So when I told the boys, look, once the season's over, well, I didn't tell them during the season, but once the season was over, I told them my plans. Yeah, I got a lot of respect from the boys, and hopefully I still do now. But yeah, I had spoken to Cass at the end of the season. I had spoken to Cass and Lloydie, and yeah, they gave me a bit of banter, obviously.
But yeah, okay, and so like now you're like paying for LSU Masters.
Yeah.
So at this present moment in time in the league, pending an investigation, um, LSU Masters are not playing in the league. However, you guys are playing in the cup competitions.
Mhm.
For you personally, how is the season going?
Season's going really well. Preseason was great, really good. Lloydie and Cass, but obviously so like Lloydie more because he was working with us like in depth more on a one-to-one as well. Preseason was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The boys really worked hard. Like the turnout was awesome all throughout the club. The turnout was amazing. Sometimes we'd have like 40, 50 guys from the younger team all the way up through all the different the super vets, the C team, B team, legends, masters, all of it. Yeah, throughout the summer we had so specifically with the masters or the A team. So we call them masters now because that's our name. So with the masters, I was really pleased to see that 95% of the squad came to preseason every week and we trained every week, twice a week sometimes. And then the games kicked in. The games were going really well. We hadn't had lost pre-season. We played some really good teams, really good teams. And I started to get sharper. All the boys were starting to get sharper. And yeah, we kind of just flowed into the league when the league started. So our first two games, uh, again, it was nothing different from pre-season. We just played the same way, played as sharp as we have been. Nothing changed. I mean, personally, I thought, oh, what's it going to be like when the first game of the season starts? Are we going to? But none of that. None of that. It just rolled into the season. It just felt like we'd just been playing. yeah, had 2 good wins. Uh, yeah, had 2 good wins, and then 2 good wins, 3 good wins, and then 2 good wins. No, 2 good wins, and then we lost to Long Lane. Again, sometimes a loss can be beautiful in disguise. So we knew what to do, or we knew what we needed to add next time we played them, or next time we face those kind of challenges, if that makes sense. So yeah, we took a loss to Long Lane. It's on the league anyway, everyone knows. And yeah, and then the independent game.
Okay. So in the cup competitions, you have Herne Bay,
Yeah,
very 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 tricky team that beat Catford. I do you like know anything about Herne Bay?
no, it's got a beach in it. I don't know.
Okay, what I mean, I kind of said that Herne Bay are looking at for me like a semi-final berth. LSU
Yes.
Masters, again, like I've seen LSU Masters play against West West London Rams in the kind of black cup, sorry, the Black History Cup final,
Hmm.
quality team. So this is going to be a humdinger, definitely. Um, I guess you're not afraid to actually play anyone. You're you're
Are
not
we
finding
afraid to play them?
no. How it how are you gonna find it? Because of course, with the kind of suspension with the Masters in the league,
Hmm.
it's only the cup competitions and friendlies. So
Hmm.
so like there is going to be a little bit of ring rustiness. So it's about starting that game properly, right?
Yeah, we've got things in hand. Like the squad. The, First of all, management know what they do. They're well equipped. They've been doing this a long time. They've We as a squad, we as an LSU unit have things in hand. I mean, naturally, people would think that we might be rusty or this or that, which is fine. Again, it doesn't. But in house, yeah, the boys, the boys know what they're doing. The boys look after themselves. Uh, we still train, obviously. So, but yeah, I, I don't really want to like, and I wouldn't anyway. I don't really talk about or disrespect any other teams, but we have we have things in house that we deal with in terms of training, looking after yourselves, stuff like that. Uh, it's the first team that when I wake up on a Saturday morning, I don't think about my team. And when I say that, I don't worry about anyone in this team, LSU Masters. I don't worry about none of them. I know what they're all about. So we just go forward with that mindset, and any game that we get to play, we do it the LSU way. That rhymes.
Yeah. And before I bring it down, actually, before you answer this question, are you all right to actually still be on the feed? Because we're going to talk about the Catford Independent game. So, are you all right to actually still be on the feed, or do you want to go after?
No,
Let me.
I'll let Nana have his segment with Catford
Okay,
Independent. I don't
cool.
like Catford or Independent, so
Okay,
I
so
will.
all right, so and again, as I kind of said before, like you don't have to answer anything. And again, you have no idea what what we're talking about, but the the kind of LSU independent game. Have you got anything to actually say about the like game and literally everything that's gone on?
Yes, I have 2 things to say. 2 major points to say about that game. So my first point is I made an absolute beautiful outside of the right foot pass, Shanguli through ball. Oh my God, it was amazing. So that's my first major point. And my second major point is after I made the Shanguli, all sorts of Shanguli on it, I skipped past Nelson like he wasn't even there. So
Yeah, but
those,
hold on, wait. But like, what was the score at the time, though? But like, what's the score at the time?
I don't know, I can't remember. But those are my two major points that I want to talk about that game. My Shanguli outside of the foot, no backlift pass, and the way I skipped around Nelson like he wasn't even there.
Smudge. You know, I was literally gonna swear, but you know, again, literally, I don't normally swear on. So hey, honestly, thank you
No
so
problem.
much for coming on and again sharing like your like journey and I don't know, it's hopefully people who have kind of heard this can actually not only digest it but can also like spread that positivity and like love to like people that also that could be in a vulnerable place.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
And again, you know, just kind of knowing you and putting and again knowing just like a literally a sliver of your story. I'm like really, you know, I think the word is not excited. I don't want to use excited because I think that's a wrong word. And I've used the word intrigued quite a lot. But next year, with the stuff that we're doing, you know, it's going to be very thought provoking, definitely.
Zabris, can I say uh, thank you for? I want to have a few shout outs quickly. Thank you to LSU for allowing me to fulfill another part in my football journey. Like I said, some of them comments are warming, very, very warming and overwhelming. I want to shout out every single player in LSU. I don't want to name names because I don't want to forget anyone and get ribbed for that. But the squad and management, Lloydie and Cass and all the players have been absolutely fantastic for me and my journey and my footballing career. So thank you to LSU. A shout out to yourself, to Reese, as well, for allowing me to share certain content. I don't know how it came across. I don't know. I'm always going to have that battle. Did I make the right impact? Did I hit the right points? Did it really come across? I don't know. That's my own personal battle. But thank you for. I hope it did. But thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for the conversations that we're having outside of this platform, and thank you for the stuff that we're doing next year. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh wow, amazing. And where can people find you? I mean, you're not really an online person, are you? Really? So
No,
okay,
you can find me playing for LSU.
okay,
Uh, you can call me if you have my number. But,
no, fair enough. No, not for hey,
but
yeah, you know, fair enough.
platform wise, all the platform stuff.
You don't do, yeah.
No, I don't do. I don't do.
Cool, cool,
I
cool.
don't do.
And you know, and again, I want to kind of shout you out because you was at the Catford Independent game. So every time LSU don't have a training session or have a game, like you're always either at a Newport game, Santos, Independent, Catford, Hollington. Like you are literally around the circuit. So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
I mean,
people can
yeah.
connect, connect with you there. Smudge, thank you so much, and I'm sure that we'll speak during the week, man.
Thank you to Breeze.
That is Smudge. Um, Again, big shout out to like him coming on. And again, let me just apologize to like everyone regarding the technical issues that we had at the beginning. We are running a tad late, but again, I want to shout out this like particular gentleman. And literally, I don't think I've even done it live, but Paul isn't available for like tonight's show. But Nana, waiting patiently in the background. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Let me just say, Nana's been waiting for about 45 minutes, probably a bit longer in the green room.
Man, you taking the piss.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And I'm so sorry. And again, let me say, Nana is the only person when I wasn't available, Nana took the show and he hosted the show himself. So big shout out to that Nana. So honestly, apologies. But let's go straight into it. Yesterday's game against Independent. First half, using goal. What did you think about the first half performance?
Well, good evening, everyone who's still watching. Man says it's a tad
Oh,
late. It's a tad late,
technical issues, man. You know, it's
Anyway, big up Smudge as well. Every time I've spoken to him, he seems like a genuine guy, and there's nothing wrong with being a free spirit. You go where you feel at home. It's as simple as that. So, big ups to Smudge. Yesterday's game, disappointed to have lost it. We started well. Um, in the first 15 minutes, I think we were 1-0 up, playing some decent football, very compact. And I think, all in all, I think it was a game of numbers because we were quite thin in terms of numbers. I don't think we made a single substitution. I mean, I was in goal with a groin injury, so I couldn't even kick the ball, take a goal kick. But we still just soldier on for the cause, innit? I think before the end of the first half, they scored. It became 1-1. Second half, again, it started pretty well, but I think after about 60 minutes, 65 minutes, you could tell that, they came with about 17 men.
well, I mean,
And
literally, well, I mean, that's kind of independent strengths, though, isn't it? Like they,
this is it. They've got quality numbers, you know. And I think it was a professional performance from them.
it was a professional performance. It was, yeah.
It was a very strong professional performance for them. We had our chances. This game was there to be won. You know, but if you're playing against a team like Independent, you have to have the numbers to freshen up. To keep it ticking, because once you start tiring, they'll punish you. They scored the second goal. First goal, we should have dealt with it better. Second goal, a shot from Jonesy on the left hand side. Decent goal, I should say. It's right in the bottom right hand corner. The last 15 minutes, I think we came on pretty strong as well. We had some chances. If we are only taking them shots, it would have been a different case. But I'm happy with my team's performance. Even with the bare 11, we stood our ground. We played some decent football. We didn't roll over. We kept going. Last 15 minutes, we should have scored. We didn't. We move on. I think the most important thing for us is the league. We've got so many injuries and we've been playing with a very thin squad for the last few months. So next week we've got Wallingham, top of the league, and it's a bigger game than Independent, in my opinion. Independent was always like a grudge match because of the connections both sets of teams have in each other, so, and the history we have. So it was always going to be that kind of a game, bragging rights, that sort of thing. But I think we played well. I'm happy with our performance, and we can only build from there. People need to realize that even though we have quite a few borders in there, we are still building. This is still a side which is in its infancy. We're still building, so it will get better.
I mean, I was at the game, and I kind of had then the management call me the day before saying, look, like, we're not going to risk you because we've got bigger like games, which I totally understood. I mean, of course, like, I just so wanted to play, but I like still took part in the warm up. Injury feels good, but I totally understood management's thinking. I think like the biggest plus was we stood our ground, and like we were solid. And yes, like we were tiring, which is normal when you've like not played consistently. But like we did have chances near the end. But again, they like showed resilience. They showed togetherness. If like certain balls were different, and again, exactly what you alluded to, if we just shoot, anything can actually happen. Credit to Independent, who are of course top of their league. They're on a really, really good like run, solid. Nathan the captain at the back, solid. Townsend, solid. You can tell that all of them have been playing together now for like quite some time. So they just kind of showed that kind of organization which you need in like these like type of cup competitions. However,
they keep you honest.
go on.
No, I'm saying that man like Dash and Nino and Jonesy, they keep you honest. So if you
100%.
if you come a little bit handicapped, you're basically screwed. But I was happy with that performance. I was really happy because we're dug in there. You could see people tiring and losing focus at times, but just kept going, just kept believing. It was unlucky. It was a good game of football. 2-1 is not. It wasn't a damaging result for. It's a cup game. Anything could happen. So, it's what it is.
And big talk active said Catford are a good side all round. And yes,
talkative, not talk active.
Talkative.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Well, sorry. There's like no C in there. Apologies. But yeah. We kind of move on now, and we've got Wallenham next. And again, Wallenham are top of the league. Again, if we could actually look at the league right now, I've literally got it up. Is that the table there? Yeah. So you have Wallenham, Seagas, and Hollington. And again, if this is going to be a close division, and this is a game that it's not really a must win, but like we can't afford to lose this, right, Dana?
Definitely. Like if you look at the table, like you remember the predictions for the beginning of the season, it shows that anything can happen in Vets football. We sort of predicted Cray will be there and thereabouts. Look at where they are now after losing just a few players. Warlingham, I believe they've signed a striker of some sort who is very decent.
Okay.
And Warlingham don't stop. They're well drilled, well organized side. They don't stop. So they were always going to be there. Hollington flying very, very high. But we concentrate on us, what we can do. We've played 5-1-3, lost 1, drew 1. We need to turn up this Saturday.
Yeah,
I don't think we can afford to lose in this sort of leagues, these divisions. You don't lose too many games and end up there. If you lose more than 2-3 games, you're not winning it. You're not winning it. So we got to turn up.
And big talkative. Catford's number 10 could have brought it back to 2-2 at the end. Yes, we spoke about this in the changing room a few times. Yeah. But I mean, again, I think Ainsley created the room for himself, and like he tried to slip it through to like someone, and it's a
you could see why he slipped. He tried to
yeah,
slip that in
you could
because
you could see
but
why.
yeah, but like with the quality that that he has, it should go. Nobody's
Just
gonna blame
shoot,
it.
man.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
shoot, like honestly, like
He's gonna get his shooting boots on next week, guaranteed.
yeah, just shoot, just shoot. But no, it's like it's gonna be a very 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 interesting league, and then Division 1, who who's that been the surprise package for you?
This one has been a bit crazy. I always knew, they're not the usual culprits, Charcoal, Independent, LSU, that sort of thing. But Leon Stars seem to be holding their own. They've got some players that you felt that they would, if they turn up on time, if they turn up in the right numbers, they could give a lot of teams trouble. The surprise for me in this division has been Sporting Santos. I expected them to do way, way, way better than they have. They are now. It's not a pretty picture to see them, like solid at the bottom of the league, because they've got enough talent, they've got enough skill and hunger to do better, and I'm really hoping that they come good. It's worrying to see them down there. They just need to get the belief in themselves and do what they did, replicate what they did last season. They went long unbeaten run. Started preseason really early. I saw them training in numbers, and but it just goes to say Division 1 is a whole different ball game. Just need to refocus. Get some sort of like a team night out, and let the baggage fall away and just enjoy themselves again. See what I'm saying?
Very true,
Yeah.
very true. And one more question before I let you go. And again, thank you for waiting patiently. Have you seen Hollanton play?
No, but I've heard loads of reports from like every game I debrief some of the referees on some of the games. So I've heard them play. I've heard about them, how they play and all that, and they've recruited very very well. They've got a really really good setup, and they've got some major ballers in there. So they're going to be the team to beat for a lot of teams. They're flying high.
And of course, they are playing independent in the next round in the League Cup. Can you? I mean, I think it's quite unfair to actually give a prediction if we've not seen the Hollanton play, but with like the things they've heard, I'm going to ask you prediction.
It's going to be a very tight game. It's going to be a very tight game. I call it a draw. It probably decided on pens, because they are flying high. However, if you look at the teams they've beaten and what's happening in some of the games that they've had big scores, like some of the games they won, I think with who was it? They won like they had like 9 players.
No.
And all that. So you can't really you can see the scores, but if you're not there to actually see what's actually happening, you think, oh, they're just banging the goals in against, so it's different. But I know that they have good side. However, Independent started wobbly, seem to have settled, and are quite difficult to beat. It just shows you that you can see the results and the way they're playing, as they're beating the Division 1 sides like they've been there for a long time. So if I was pushed to it, I think Independent might just edge them out. But I think this game is, for me, is probably going to go to Sport Kit to decide who wins. It'll be interesting.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I saw Hollanton play against Charcoal, and I don't think that was a fair representation of how they play. Of course, you know, I know independent. So but by seeing some of the results and again, they're still unbeaten in the league. Yeah, they've not lost in over a year, I believe. So yeah, I mean, again, you know, if like, you know, anyone's got a spare weekend, I'm not too sure exactly when they're playing, but I'd say that would be the game of the week. And big talk. Sorry.
No, I'll say that most definitely. If we don't have a game, I'd like to watch that one.
And Big Talkatives come in and say Charcoal will win everything. LSU banging trouble. What is your response to that, Nana?
We'll see. We just have to wait and see. Because without this situation, LSU would have been right up there as well. You know, they've also recruited well. They were playing some really good football. You know, I think they lost one to Long Lane. And they were losing to Independent, if I remember.
Yes.
But LSU will always be there. Always be there. Let's wait for things to settle down, and you know, the games resume. And then we'll see how it goes from there. We know Charcoal. We know what they're about. You know, so it's not surprising. Anybody can say that. But I think it's not going to be straightforward as that.
Oh, perfect. Nana, thank you so much for like waiting in the wings. And I know that you'll be there this week, either in goal or on the pitch, and you'll be doing exactly whatever you can. I want to shout out everyone in our private group.
Hell, man.
Oh gosh,
yeah, out of order, man.
It's out. Listen, I mean that group is something that listen. All right, and Big Talkative said Hollington beat Independent easy. They just about beat Catford yesterday with 11 men, no subs. Okay, well, let's see what happens. This
is it.
Let's see what happens, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see.
On that day, 90 minutes of football.
Exactly. Anything can happen. Nana, thank you so much. Please go to bed and get some rest. And yes, I am going to get you back on.
You owe me.
I owe you, bro. Honestly. And happy belated birthday as well, man.
Thank you. After what, 2 weeks? What?
Nana, thank you so much.
All right, no worries, brother. Have a good one, yeah?
You too.
Yes.
So again, thank you to Nana coming onto the show to actually talk about the Catford Independent game, and again, thank you to like Smudge, sharing his story, and you know exactly what Smudge said before. We will be doing a project together, and there's going to be other like things as well in the pipeline, which I'm really excited about. And again, thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Any kind of comments, please DM me again on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok as well. And anything that I can do to help, I am here. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you next week with another amazing guest. See you guys later.